Visalia native Vince Madness and special guest Jerry Dyer held a ribbon-cutting ceremony right here in downtown Fresno for a new one-of-a-kind thrift store. I'm Emma Ott, and I'll be previewing all the fun for you tonight at 8.
The Lights of Love event was a success at River Park in Fresno last night. I'm Athena Metsikis with those details next at 8.
Merced is getting ready to eat more chicken. I'm Steven Gomez with those details tonight at 8.
Also tonight,
over the last several weeks, we had multiple significant updates on the murder case of Wendy Pullins.
we do have new details in the Wendy Pullins murder case out of Mariposa County. Later in sports, Fresno State football coach Jeff Tedford will miss this year's bowl game. Valentina Saldana will tell you why. Your news in primetime is next.
New, local, unique. MyTV53 News at 8 starts right now.
Hi everybody, good evening. This is the San Joaquin Valley's only 8 p.m. news. Happy Friday and first day of December. I'm Boston Reed. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Our big story is in downtown Fresno tonight, where a first-of-its-kind thrift store held its grand opening late this afternoon. MyTV53's Emma Ott was there and explains why this is really a big deal. Emma?
Vintage items, art, and oddities are just a few of the things you can find here at Madness Thrift Store that held their grand opening today at 3 p.m. in downtown Fresno.
Okay, well, this is actually the first steampunk-themed thrift store in Northern California's history.
The closest you can get to seeing a store like this would be in San Francisco. I got a chance to speak with the owner himself, Vince, to tell us exactly what steampunk is. Take a look.
Victorian style mixed with futuristic.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that movie with Will Smith. I'm not sure what it's called.
I forget.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're
kind of like
talking
Mad
about,
Max
though.
kind of
Okay.
style.
Vince decided to bring the madness to 1127 Fulton Street right here in downtown Fresno, and we are glad that he did. Madness Thrift will quickly become a haven for those with a taste for the extraordinary. Steampunk enthusiasts and curious locals alike will surely find what they are looking for after browsing the shelves and discovering hidden treasures.
We sell for local artists, and then we sell like really unique items, and then EDM gear, but also a thrift store where we have like vintage clothing and vintage art and all kinds of stuff you won't be able to find anywhere else.
Yeah. Mayor Jerry Dyer was also in attendance to take a look around and perform a ribbon-cutting ceremony that marked the official grand opening of Madness Thrift. Not only is this store a great treat for visitors, but also works to economically benefit local vendors in the area. Right now, Vince has about 5 local artists and vendors to sell their items in Madness Thrift and is actively looking for more.
Okay, so I have like 5 local vendors, and that's their spot right there, and they're all artists. So, that's the point of the store also. It's like really artistic.
Mm-hmm.
It matches downtown. It matches art.
Absolutely. This is the perfect spot for it, too. Vince also plans to become a buy-sell-trade business where he plans on buying gold and silver as well. I asked him what it's like to be a small business owner in today's generation, and this is what he had to say.
I was talking to an entrepreneur that's like a millionaire, and he told me that nowadays that people are so lazy that all you have to do is be a little bit better and a little bit more motivated and take a little bit more chances.
Madness Thrift is a steampunk thrift store, the only one of its kind here in the Valley, so make sure you go check it out. I'm Emma Ott reporting with MyTV53 News at 8.
Emma, have a great weekend. Thank you much. Happening tomorrow in downtown Fresno, the 94th annual Christmas Parade is scheduled.
This Saturday, December 2nd, it is our 94th annual Christmas parade. So we're going 94 years strong. We'll be going, the parade starts at 11 a.m. We'll be starting at Inyo and Fulton all the way to Calaveras. After the parade, we're actually having a activation in the Mariposa Plaza, kind of our last hoorah before the construction starts. We're curating it to where it's like a Santa's workshop, and we'll have makers, we'll have food, vendors, and arts and crafts for the kids, pictures with Santa.
And on Monday in downtown Fresno, the partnership will be holding the tree lighting ceremony. That's outside City Hall. Be sure to go to the MyTV53 YouTube page for more details about that. Also tomorrow in the city of Fresno, a tradition, Christmas Tree Lane, opens up for the 2023 season. This year, walk-only nights return after being canceled for the last few years because of the pandemic. Lights turn on at 6 p.m. This year, there are only 2 walk-only nights. The first one is tomorrow, and there will be another one, a walk-only night on December 12th. Parking is available at Fig Garden Village or on side streets along Van Ness Boulevard. Visiting the lane is free, but they do appreciate donations. And in Dinuba, the 2023 Dinuba Electric Light Parade is set for tomorrow. That's Saturday, December 2nd. The parade starts at 5:30 p.m. and right in front of the downtown Dinuba Fire Department. The route is on East Tulare, and then it ends on South L Street. There are a total of 48 different participants this year alone. And in Clovis tomorrow night, it is the Clovis Electric Christmas Parade. That starts at 5:30. Other news, we are going to head to the North Valley, where the city of Merced is celebrating after it was announced that a Chick-fil-A restaurant will soon be opening. New at 8, reporter Stephen Gomez joins us from the newsroom with these details.
We learned today that the city of Merced will finally welcome one of the most requested businesses from the community, Chick-fil-A. The project is scheduled to take place on the northeast corner of Martin Luther King Jr. Way and West 15th Street in 2024. Chick-fil-A will construct a 5,800 square foot restaurant on 1.47 acres. Currently, the site is occupied by Merced Power Sports. Merced Power Sports will relocate to a vacant site immediately east of where Chick-fil-A will build. The city says to stay tuned for the updates as they embark on the development of this project. In the newsroom, I'm Stephen Gomez, reporting for MyTV53 News at 8.
All right, Stephen, thank you for that. Have a nice weekend to you. New from Merced Police tonight. The department announced earlier today that they are welcoming the newest addition to the DART unit. Officer Timothy Farmer will be tasked with ensuring the city remains clean, vibrant, and safe for all. The Disruptive Area Response Team, also known as DART, is a specialized unit staffed by 1 sergeant and 2 officers. 1 sergeant, along with Farmer, are now responsible for specialized investigations within the city of Merced. Some of these investigations include human trafficking, vice operations, and rehousing of those in need. Well, this just in from the Mariposa County Sheriff's Office. Earlier this afternoon, Sheriff Jeremy Brees says his deputies found a body believed to be that of missing Madera County woman Wendy Pullins.
Today, I have one final update that I can confidently say that we can finally provide friends, family of Wendy with some closure and hope that they can begin the healing process. On Wednesday, November 29th, detectives with the assistance of search and rescue and cadaver dogs responded to a specific area identified through the investigation. As the team searched this area, Sheriff's Office located evidence and human remains that we believe to be Wendy Pullins.
Now, the remains were found on the November 29th day in a remote area of the Sierra National Forest. A DNA test still needs to be done before they can 100% confirm that it was Pullins. Back in June of 2022, Pullins was reported missing after not showing up to work. Deputies later located her vehicle down a ditch, and they even arrested somebody for her murder. Well, after a 3-month-long investigation into the manufacturing and selling of illegal firearms, Visalia PD Narcotics and Special Enforcement Unit, along with the Porterville PD's SWAT team, served 7 search warrants yesterday in Visalia and Wood Lake. The units worked together to execute the search warrants where evidence of the crime was located, including a 3D printer, 3D printing material, machine gun parts, prohibited weapons, also 80 jigs used to manufacture privately made firearms or ghost guns. Now, a total of 10 people were arrested. New tonight from the Visalia Fire Department, around 9:50 this morning, just before the 10 o'clock hour, firefighters were called here to the 1500 block of West Sunnyview Avenue for a report of a pretty big structure fire. When crews arrived on scene, they saw smoke and flames coming from a home. All occupants inside were evacuated safely. No injuries were reported. The cause of the fire tonight is still unknown, and it is now under investigation. Hey, finally, in your first few minutes of nonstop news here at 8, a very special event was held to honor loved ones all across the Central Valley. But this was primarily for family members who are struggling with the loss since the holiday season is now here. Only from MyTV53 News, reporter Athena Matsikis brings us more.
The Lights of Love event on Thursday night was packed, full of people mourning the loss of life of a loved one.
Zachary John Horton.
Heinz Hospice of Central California puts this event on every year during the holiday season at River Park Plaza, right outside of the movie theater. Each year, people submit names for Lights of Love through the Heinz Hospice website. Many of the names either were actually a former patient of Heinz Hospice, but even if someone still lived on or wasn't even a patient of Heinz Hospice, you could submit the name of your loved one, which volunteers read out loud.
Rick Richard Hodgson. Gay Hodge.
The candlelight ceremony included live music, a singer, warm drinks, and a special tree lighting ceremony at the end.
3, 2, 1.
It's always free to attend, and everyone is welcome, even if you didn't lose a loved one or even had a loved one's name read out loud. Heinz Hospice does this yearly event during the holiday season because there's so many that we have lost, and because of this time of the year is extra hard. Reporting in the News Center, I'm Athena Matsikis for MyTV53 News at 8.
A very important event. Athena, thank you for that. That does it for your first few minutes of nonstop news at 8, but don't go anywhere. We are just getting started. Still ahead, Fresno State head coach Jeff Tedford says he will miss a very important game due to health concerns. Valentina Saldana will explain. She will also have these sports headlines.
The Fresno State volleyball team is headed up to Cardinal territory to face Stanford for the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Also ahead, we are learning more about the Kern County Animal Services shutdown due to that new dog illness called strep zoo. Later, embattled Congressman George Santos, I guess we should say former Congressman George Santos, is done. Also ahead, with so much going down this weekend in celebration of the holiday season, we'll have an update at your weather forecast. New, local, unique. Happy first day of December, everybody. You're watching the news at 8, and we're back in a little over 2 minutes.
This is MyTV53 News. New, local, unique with Austin Reed. You're watching MyTV53 News at 8.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, on this 1st of December. Turning to our big stories in Kern County for our viewers watching on KNXT 53. Earlier this week, officers from the McFarland Police Department were dispatched to the 400 block of Eagle Street regarding a peace disturbance. When officers arrived, they saw several subjects in the middle of the roadway and then immediately began dispersing. Officers contacted an involved male subject identified as 32-year-old Jose Gonzalez in the driveway of a home. Officers had info from a previous call that this same subject was possibly in possession of a firearm, and he brandished it at a family member in a very threatening manner. Officers also had information that Gonzalez was a convicted felon and on active post-release community supervision. Officers detained the man during a pat-down to search for weapons. They located a loaded semi-automatic firearm on him. They also found meth, and he was booked at the Lerdo Justice Facility for being a felon in possession of a firearm, among other charges. Time for this week's Around Kern County. Allie Soper is now sitting down with Kern County Animal Services for helpful information about that virus, Strep Zoo. We've been covering it all week here on your News at 8, and Allie has more now.
Welcome to this week's Around Kern County. I'm your host, Allie Soper. If you're a pet owner, you may have seen the headlines about a new respiratory illness affecting dogs known as Strep Zoo. And this week, Kern County Animal Services confirmed its presence here at their shelter. While dedicated medical staff and animal services staff respond to the illness by taking the proper steps to sanitize their facility and treat all shelter dogs with preventative antibiotics, Animal Services says they desperately need the community's help.
Is do everything you can to prevent animals from coming to us, at least during this next 8 days or so until next Thursday. So dog beds are a really big need for us right now. We put out some pleas on social media. There's a particular type of dog bed that we use. They're easily disinfectable and they're raised dog beds to get the pets up off the ground who really need foster and adoption for these dogs, because the less dogs we have in those areas of the facility that have not been disinfected, the easier it'll be for us to clear out those areas, move those animals somewhere else, disinfect, and then reopen. Our staff went through and treated everything, literally everything, with an injectable antibiotic so that we're safe and we're confident that every animal in the facility, if it gets adopted or placed in a foster home, that's going to be perfectly fine.
To stay up to date with the latest information about Strep Zoo and how it's impacting Kern County, please visit our website, kerncounty.com.
MyTV53 News continues with the Valley's local forecast.
Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Get down. Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Radio, video. Movie with a suitcase. Y'all living in a disco. Forget about the rat race. Let's do the milkshake and sell it like a hotcake. Try some, buy some, beat by four. Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop. I wanna dedicate it. Pop, pop, shoo-wop. Everybody made it. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Infiltrate it. Pop, pop, shoo-wop. Activate it. New York, London, Paris, Munich. Everybody talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Sing in the subway. Shuffle with the
Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman Supreme Court Justice, died this morning in Phoenix, Arizona. She was 93. Throughout her 24-year term on the bench, O'Connor voted on some of the most contentious issues the court has faced, including affirmative action and abortion. One of her most influential roles was in the 5-4 vote in Bush versus Gore, in a decision that led to George W. Bush's 2000 election win. New tonight, George Santos is gone from Congress, but his disastrous tenure will not be forgotten by party leaders as they now prepare for what is expected to be a fiercely contested and expensive special election to replace him in New York's 3rd Congressional District. Voters will not have a say in choosing the nominee. That's under New York's special election rules. They will be selected by the county party leaders. Time now for Sports Shorts. Let's check in with Valentina Saldana as one of the stories she is following broke earlier today. Fresno State football coach Jeff Tedford is going to miss a very special game. She has that headline among many others.
The Fresno State volleyball team is headed up to Cardinal territory to face Stanford for the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Lewis. Shut down by Kip and Vicini, and that's going to do it.
The game is already underway against the number 1 seed Stanford. The Cardinals lead the Division I in most national championships with 9. Their most recent championship came in 2019. As for the Bulldogs, they are coming off a Mountain West Championship win, knocking out the 4th, 1st, and 2nd seed during the tournament. Fresno State does have a combination of experienced and young players. Some of those names include Grace Toyo, Brooke Cowie, and Diony Fraga. Toyo has been on the front line for the Bulldogs, leading the way with kills. On the other hand, Fraga has been the support of the backline with digs, which earned her the title of Mountain West Freshman of the Year. During the tournament, Cowie helped the Bulldogs with 110 sets and hit a .278 hitting percentage, tabbing her as the tournament MVP. This is the first time since 2002, making it 21 years since the Bulldogs have competed in the NCAA tournament. As for football, it was announced today by Fresno State Athletics that head coach Jeff Tedford will be stepping away from his duties effective immediately due to health concerns. This means that Tedford will miss the bowl game, but assistant head coach Tim Skipper will be filling in the position for that game. The bowl game opponent is set to be determined on Sunday, and we wish Tedford a speedy recovery. In other football news, the Mountain West Conference announced its 25th season football team yesterday, and of course, you know there was representation from Bakersfield. Congratulations to Derek Carr, Jordan Love, and Philip Thomas for being selected to the 25th anniversary team and making Bakersfield proud.
That is all for Sports Shorts. I'm Valentina Saldaña. Austin, back to you.
All right, Valentina, thank you for that. Have a good weekend. Next at 8, we are cooking with the Fresno Fire Department. Before we say goodbye, we are cooking with the Fresno Fire Department. The temperature is dropping, so it is time for soups. Check out this week's recipe by Fresno firefighter Jacob Garinka.
I started off with getting some olive oil in a pot, then I get all my ground Italian sausages in there, brown that up, and then I also did my bacon in a cast iron. While it's cooking, from there you can go ahead and prep your vegetables and your potatoes. Make sure those are all cut up so I can throw them in when it's ready. So I went with yellow onion, shallots, and then garlic. Now that all the veggies are prepped on the side, once that meat finishes off, pull the meat, drain them, and then from there you throw in your onion, shallot, garlic, cook that down with some flour. From there, you actually then add your chicken broth, bring it to a boil, throw all your potatoes in and start cooking those down. Once the potatoes are soft, get your bacon, throw it in, throw in your sausage. Throw in a little bit of bacon grease too, because it'll add some flavor. And then the last thing you're gonna do is add the heavy whipping cream and then the rest of your kale. Kale will cook down pretty fast, about 5 minutes. That last 5 minutes when the kale's in, I chose to throw in the bread, toast it up real quick, throw some slices of cheese and top it with some Italian seasoning, and then ready to go.
Quick final look at your forecast before we end the week together. It is going to be chilly this weekend. Look at next week, though. Temperatures will gradually warm up again. If you are going to be out and about in the evenings, Saturday and Sunday at parades, or you're going to do Christmas Tree Lane, make sure you bring that jacket. Have a safe weekend, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Austin Reed, hoping your news is good news. We're back on Monday. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.